What's going on, girls and guys? Once again, it is your host, Arachnid Soul, coming to you today for the first time ever with Legends of Grimrock, the dungeon crawling RPG, bringing a whole new aspect to my channel. This game, unlike any game I've previously played for all of you, and I'm not too experienced at this. I'm kind of just discovering this as well as all of you out there are. I did play a little bit on a save last night just to kind of get the feel of the controls and the movement, and really just to figure out what the basic concept of this game is. Now, you see 4 characters on the bottom of the screen. I've designed these 4 characters. I picked their traits, I picked their skills. The basic story behind this game is those 4 characters were prisoners, are prisoners, and I'm going to assume that they're innocent since I'm playing as them. They were wrongfully accused. In any case, they've been given a chance to freedom, but they've been dropped into this pit. The only shot they have at freedom is to find their way out of this pit. But unfortunately, there's mazes, there's puzzles, there's monsters, and it's easier said than done. This is the first puzzle we're looking at right here. What the hell do I do? Now, I know I've got to get that stone onto that pedal somehow to keep that gate up, but I'm out here throwing like Gary Delabate from the Howard Stern show.
Oh, Jesus crap. What did he do? He just threw it and it hit the umpire.
In the upper left right there, you see my main character. I named him Jasper. He's a human, he's a fighter, and for the people out there, and here's a key, this'll work. For the people out there who know this game, the 2 traits that I've given him, he's tough and he's athletic. He's basically one of my tanks. To the right of him, you see the Minotaur. That's Heron. Now, he's a fighter, and his traits are he's aggressive and he's also a headhunter. And basically, a headhunter means that I guess there's skulls you can find in this game, and the more skulls I find, the better he's going to be. I have no idea. Lower left there, I named her Ember. She's the fire mage, the fire goddess, whatever. She's human. She's strong-minded. She has a nice aura. Those are the traits I've given her. I don't actually remember what they mean. Maybe in part number 2 I'll go into it. So here's another puzzle. That's the loose rock I'm looking for. It opens up this secret compartment over here. Let's see what this is. Okay, this is a key. I'm taking all these torches just because when it gets dark on this game and your torches go out, you need a fresh torch. Otherwise, the game's pitch black. And in the lower right-hand side, you see the lizard woman. That's Morgana. She's a rogue, and I've given her the traits of being evasive and being agile. Now, here's the first enemy. We got to try to figure out how to fight this thing. Anyone out there who's played this game, I'm horrible so far at the combat system. There's a parrying system. You can also work with the puzzles to defeat your enemies. And also the different types of enemies have different points in their own strikes where you can hit them, where they're vulnerable. I haven't quite figured that out yet for each little enemy, so this is going to be pretty brutal. I'm going to take a lot of damage here, I'm sure. Jasper, like I said, in the upper left is my main character. That's my tank. That's the one who's going to do the most damage with the melee combat. And as you can see, I haven't found any good weapons yet. I'm using a club. I've got my Minotaur Heron, and he's just going bare knuckles. Picked up some snail meat there. I can actually use that to regain some of the hunger bars there. Let's see. Yeah, I'll use it on him. So you see the green bar filled up there. As you go along in this game, you do get experience points for each of the characters, which means that basically you're going to be able to level up, and you're going to have more choices to make. We find our first real weapon here, and also we found a pair of trousers. I won't call them pants because then all the British people laugh, so I'll just refer to these as leather trousers. Put those on Jasper. Basically, you can move any of the characters around. I can move, you know, Morgana, or she was going to be Morgana, she's just Morgan now. Copyright things. I can move her, and I can move Ember to the top if I want to. I can switch the characters around, their formations. But I've decided that Jasper and Heron are going to be up top. Okay, nice throwing dagger. And I will give Morgane that club. Almost called her Morgana again. 2 more snails here. It's only 2 damage, but it's nice to get that first hit off. The deeper you get into this game, the deeper the story gets, the better weapons you find. We're going to see later on in later parts that Ember's probably going to get some more magical powers and see here, get a nice little strike from the side. These snails are basically the weakest enemy in the game. So the combat's going to look pretty rudimentary here, pretty easy, but it will get more intense. And these things have really creepy mouths on them. I'm trying to be professional, but those are kind of gnarly looking mouths. Not really down with that. Okay, let me see if I can do some more damage here. I'm also trying to kind of back up and trying to hit this enemy from the side and doing different things. They're pretty weak, so to be honest with you, there's no real chance that those enemies are going to kill me. But I still want to be cautious, and I still want to get ready just in case. I should also point out for anybody out there who's looking at this and saying there's something kind of odd about the way you move around and the way you turn. This game is basically like an old school grid map system. Almost like if anybody out there remembers playing games like Super Metroid or some of the old Dungeons and Dragons type games where you had that map, maybe you had that actual grid paper out with your NES, and you were sitting there trying to remember where you'd been, or Zelda, some of those games. That's basically how it is. And what they're trying to do with this game, they're trying to take a real old school dungeon crawling game mentality, and at the same time they're trying to use new technology with it. So you know, the graphics, the shine. Here's another puzzle. There's writing on the wall telling me what to do, but it's pretty obvious. I need to throw a rock over to that pedal. There you go. So now I can walk across and get this key. Sometimes it's easy to figure stuff out on this game, and sometimes it's difficult. But the thing I experienced last night in playing this game, the little bit that I did, was that it's really rewarding. It's really rewarding leveling up your character, solving puzzles. Anytime you can kind of go into an area you haven't been before, it's exciting. You never know what's around the next corner. And I should be pulling up the map a lot more. Here it is. So you see, this is basically a grid system, and you can actually, if you want to, set little waypoints on there and set things so you remember what's where. And type in, hey, this is where the door is. This is where this is. The keys on this game, I don't know. I can't really say that it's simple. I can't really say that it's difficult. I can kind of just say to each his or her own. I'm going to give her the loincloth because I do believe the 2 women in the back, I've set them up to be kind of range characters, and they're not as tanky, not as strong, so they might need the armor. Pick up these things. Essentially, you use the WASD keys to move around, you know, just like a lot of old school first-person games on PC, and a lot of new school games as well. And then the Q and the E, which in a lot of first-person shooting games would be lean, that's how you turn. So if you look at your keyboard right now, Q, W, E, and then ASD, those are the keys you use to move around. Heal my sight. So I need to find something to put in those eye sockets of that skeleton, that gargoyle, whatever the hell that was, so that way I can get through this door. Let's see here. Let's see what's around this corner. Okay, there are some creepy things over there. It's another thing about this game. Every time you find new enemies, you're not really sure what their attacks are like, how much damage they give, how much damage they take, how you should attack them. I think this is the best way. Hit him once, pull the lever there, pull the chain, get the gate to come back down. This'll work. Throw a rock at it. This is doing almost no damage, though. I'm gonna need to become a little bit stronger. Nope. Okay. I think I'm just gonna need to keep the gate up and maybe just attack this guy. Once again, I don't really have this guy's timing down, so this is not going to be the kind of flawless, striking that you might see somebody else doing on this game. I'm really enjoying this game, though. If you're watching this and you're kind of iffy on this, you're not really sure if this is like a good game or not, it's an awesome game. It has the overwhelmingly positive rating in the Steam store. Everybody I know who's played this loves this game. I played it last night. I loved it. I'm playing it right now. I love it. We're going to get more into this game in future parts, so please come back next time and check it out. Don't forget to follow yours truly on Twitter, @ArachnidSoul. And by the way, go over and watch that awesome 7 Days to Die Alpha 11 series I'm doing. Go watch The Road to Alpha 11. There's a whole playlist. To be continued. Stay tuned for part 2 coming up right after this. It has been your host, Arachnid Soul, and I will catch you girls and guys later. And we see our first zombie down here. Put this torch out. Let's handle our business. There's 2 of them down here. Okay. Trying to light them on fire. Okay, maybe this wasn't the... Yeah, maybe this was not the best idea. And I can't believe you guys. The guys and girls out there...